Hey guys, in today's video we're going to break down how McGregor destroyed Cowboy Cerrone. So we're not just going to break down the technique. They were wonderful techniques, great techniques, we'll talk about that. But there's more to the fight game than that. There's a mental state, the environment, the discipline, etc. So go ahead and watch the video and we're going to break down everything just to see how he made this great comeback.
I achieved it all. John always says the worst. My coach says it's the worst nightmare for a coach if it's a student that achieves it all. The money, the fame, the belts, all of this. What then to motivate me?
Is it just me or is there an eerie parallel with Rocky 3 here? Dana White thinks you can do it.
So do I. But you gotta want to do it for the right reasons. Not for the people, not for the title, not for money or me, but for you. Just you alone.
And then just come back for the love, like I got into it in the first place for the love. So it's just about commitment. That's it. Just commit and just do what you know you need to do, and that's it. So for me, it's just about recognizing what needs to be done and do it strictly, and do it. And that for me leads me to enjoy it more. And that's basically what happened this camp. So it's just about commitment. That's it. You put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. There's no secret sauce to this. Recognize what you need to do and fucking do it, and you will succeed.
Not only did McGregor do it, McGregor did it in spectacular fashion. UFC 246, just an amazing return after 15 months. Destroying a top 5 fighter like Cowboy, there's no reason why he can't win a title in this division or even be very competitive against Masvidal. Masvidal was great in 2019, had all the hype, all the momentum. He's still got it going into 2020, but let's face it, after this performance from McGregor, it's all about McGregor in 2020 right now. McGregor's a hype train once again. So anyway, about the performance, let's break it down. He defeated Cowboy Cerrone in spectacular fashion in 40 seconds. I think the more interesting thing, though, he didn't even get hit. Yes, Cerrone did not land one shot against McGregor.
Flawless victory.
That's never happened in all of Cerrone's fights, and boy, that guy fights a lot. Speaking of fighting a lot, he should probably take a little bit of time off now that this is his third loss in a row. But with that said, this is not the last we've seen with Donald Cerrone. Expect him to be back. He's not that far removed from a title shot in either lightweight or welterweight. A couple of wins and he'll be back in contention. But as far as McGregor goes, he opened fast and he opened hard with that trademark left.
I did come out and I let that left hand go from the chamber. The force of him dipping and me connecting with him with my hip even was a shot in itself.
It was actually a pretty heavy shot, but it happened so quick and so fast, I don't think that many people noticed. Now from there, the two men immediately got entangled in a clinch, and we've seen something from McGregor that he said he practices during sparring and he does land, but we've never seen in a fight: shoulder strikes. The only other UFC fighter I can recall seeing use this technique effectively was John Jones, where he had a guy up against the cage and popped that shoulder. With that said, I'm not surprised Jones and McGregor are using this technique. They seem pretty advanced, and I expect a lot of fighters in the future to borrow and use and steal this technique because it's pretty damn effective. It just gives you one more thing to worry about when you're in the clinch, as if elbows and knees weren't enough. Speaking of knees in the clinch, McGregor used that as well. You don't typically see the shorter fighter throwing the knee in the clinch to the head of the taller fighter, but McGregor seemed to touch him here, and goes to show that he's got a wide arsenal of strikes that he can and will throw at any time just to throw you off. That's kind of the genius of McGregor. Speaking about the genius of McGregor, he's obviously got a high fight IQ. Not only did he easily deflect Donald Cerrone's head kick, he immediately threw one of his own and landed it. Now Donald Cerrone has the most head kick knockouts in UFC history, so for McGregor to land that head kick that really turned the fight, so just another feather in his cap there. Speaking of McGregor's head kick, you don't really see that kind of power generated or somebody wobble like Cerrone was when they get hit with the toes, not the shin or necessarily the foot, but more like the upper toes. It just goes to show McGregor does have power at 170, despite what some people said about those Diaz fights. You got to remember, Diaz does not get finished. I mean, they may stop the fight because he gets so cut up and bloodied up, but he does not really get stopped. So it's really no surprise if nobody else is stopping Diaz that McGregor did not stop him either in either of those two fights. Throughout the course of the fight, McGregor was clearly the aggressor, completely full of confidence, pawing at him with the right, trying to gauge distance, trying to set up that heavy left. At one point came in with a lunging right uppercut that seemed to graze Cowboy Cerrone. But really after that head kick we'd mentioned, that started the end of Cerrone. McGregor followed up with a jumping knee. He didn't land it, but it didn't take long before him to land a couple heavy lefts. Got Cerrone on the ground, and just finished out with some really clean ground and pound until Herb Dean stepped in and stopped the fight. Now, as far as reactions go, I feel the welterweight champ Kamaru Usman gave the best one. Here's the look welterweight champ Kamaru Usman gave. But I bet you he's feeling more like Bolo in Bloodsport after Van Damme beat Paco. So after this spectacular finish, the world is open to McGregor again. His next fight's going to be beyond huge. Is it going to be Khabib? Is it going to be Ferguson? If one of them drop out of that title shot, that fight seems pretty cursed. I think they try to set it up like at least 5 times by now. Is it going to be boxing? Is it going to be against Manny Pacquiao? Or even Floyd Mayweather Jr.? That opens up the possibility. McGregor is so hot right now. All the momentum's on his side. It's going to be Masvidal. He kind of stole some of that Masvidal thunder. Masvidal is still really hot right now, but he was 2019. 2020 is all about McGregor so far. The 2020 season, he had that in his head. He manifested it. He knew this first fight. There was no guarantee, but I think he already knew he was going to win this. He's got that kind of attitude. I believe he's got the attitude that he's already got his next 2 fights in the bag as well, even though he doesn't even know what those fights are. This man, I believe it was only 7 years ago where he was collecting a welfare paycheck. I don't know if you guys ever heard of or read the book The Secret, or maybe even seen that documentary on Netflix. There's a lot of metaphysical things going on. It's all about manifesting things into reality. And that's what McGregor's done. It clearly works for him and a lot of other successful people as well. I know Oprah Winfrey even usually talks about it. So I'll do a video on that in the future, by the way, because that's a fascinating subject, I think, for anybody. But back to the McGregor fight, just spectacular. I was beyond impressed. I figured he'd win. I thought it'd maybe go 3-4 rounds, but oh man, the guy never fails to impress. I mean, he's got knockout power in the 170 weight division now, and he didn't even have to cut weight. So he came in comfortable, just focused on the training, got the job done. This could not have gone. This could not have played out better than it has for him. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Do you think he's going to go boxing? Do you think he's going to do Manny Pacquiao, maybe Floyd Mayweather? That fight is probably going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen next, but he wants a rematch against that. There's just too much money involved. And again, with McGregor, it's not just about the money, as he says himself. Just he's got to go back to the basics, just the love of the game. What made him who he is what's going to make him what made him who he is what he needs. It's like Rocky 3. It's funny because even in the post-fight press conference, McGregor talking about wanting to fight Khabib in Russia so bad, he even mentions it'll be like a Rocky movie, just the spectacle of it. Or he wants a fight in a stadium, ideally in Ireland, but he's the kind of guy that's made this sport what it is today. And he's just gonna keep making it bigger. So I wish him the best. I'm looking forward to 2020. Came out of that fight unscathed. So he's already ready for the next one. The fans want it. He wants it. Can't wait till it happens. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video, and hope to see you guys next time.